My name is Destin, and I am a sophomore. Nope, I lied. I'm a senior. Nah. How's everyone doing?
Great.
Nah, come on, how's everyone doing? Yeah? Are y'all ready to hear some sex jokes? No, I'm not kidding. Like, seriously. Right? This is college, sorry. We're gonna have, some jokes about sex today. A comedian today, her name is Maria Falzoni. She has headlined top comedy clubs throughout Europe and the US. And she has appeared on HBO, NBC, and A&E tonight, right? So her best line is to explain rules to greater sex. Rules to greater sex. I believe we're all need that in our lives. Seriously. And she has done that at like hundreds and hundreds of campuses. And tonight she's here for us. So let's get ready to introduce Miss Maria Falzoni.
Yeah. Okay, let's give Justin a round of applause. So Justin is supposed to say, so get ready for what may be the most sexually rewarding experience of your life. And he's like, oh shit, this might not be, I'm afraid. So I promise you it will. Can you see me? Like, am I better here or am I better here? Here? I feel like what do you call it? I know you do. Do you want to move? Can you see me? Like, but can you all see me from like here? Is that weird to see me here? Like, you know what I mean? Like, shit, she's on the side of the stage, on the stage. Is that kind of freaky? All right, fuck it, I'm gonna be here. Because the lighting is good and I'm a diva, so, I must be seen. So let me you strap in, because we're gonna be real tonight, all right? We're gonna talk about sex, we're gonna talk about sex in a way that we probably haven't talked about sex before. And I'm not, like, so you heard I'm a comedian, I'm not a sex therapist. I just want to say that, like, I don't have a degree in sex. I didn't know you could get a degree in sex. Like, shit. Did you know that? Some of you might want to reconsider your major. And, like, could you imagine studying sex in college? Well, I would have been a good student. I really would have been a good student. I would have shown up, I would have asked for extra credit. Pulling all night would be part of the coursework. We'd just be like, honey, get on your knees, it's research. Don't Mommy needs an A, work it, baby. This is nothing, we're gonna go farther than that. But I'm not, I am a sexpert. Self-described. And what makes me a sexpert is I have incredible sex. I really do. I have like that kind of sex. Hence the love response. I'm just like, and sometimes it's with myself, because I'm good. You know, I don't want to brag or anything, but I love you. But like, are you all okay? No, if you think about sex, we get some mixed up, we really do get mixed messages about sex. Like, we get one message from the media, which is do it, right? Do it. That's how they sell shit, sex shit. You know, it sells. Like the beer commercial. A guy walks into the beer, to the bar, he orders the beer, just pop, that's all he has to do is he has to pop the beer open, right? That's it, it's the sound of the, and all the women with the pointy titties come running, it's like a little spud-seeking missiles, like, is that a light beer? Or like these music videos, they could be singing about a tree and they have half-naked women humping the tree, and like the songs are do it, keep on doing it, your ass falls off, you put it back on, do it, and everyone wants you to do it, but no one ever really tells you how to do it. Like, who talks to you straight about sex? Like, just real about sex. I'm thinking, I'm going to say something, I think like that's your parents' job to do that. Really. But how many people here, raise your hands if your parents had the sex talk with you. Raise your hand if you had the sex talk. Okay, not bad. Like, if it was a good talk. Raise your hand if it was a good talk. One person in the back, was it a good talk or you just resting your arm? Okay, are you recording me right now? No, like shit, all right, because I was, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay, so anybody have a good sex talk? One person? Two people? Okay, good. So what is your name? What is it?
Eric.
Eric, and you are? Kayla. Okay. Kayla, who talked to you?
My mom.
Your mom, Eric, who talked to you? Your father. Isn't that interesting? Because that's usually the way it goes, right? Genital, I have a penis, you have a penis, let's do that, right? You have the vulva, you talk to her, right? You're not doing it. How old are you, Kayla?
I'm 19.
No, how old were you when you got the sex talk?
Oh, like probably 14.
14? 15? Anybody younger than 14 or 15?
My mom told me when I was like 9.
9? Awesome. 9 younger than 9? No, 10? Okay. All right, so 9, I'm going to say something very controversial. I believe that you start talking to your kids in infancy. In infancy, thank you for the snaps. In infant, all right, so let me just say this. I grew up really shamed about sex, right? My mother and my father are from Sicily. So anybody here first generation? From another country, first generation what? Colombian. Oh my God, same thing. Catholic guilt, right? Yeah, Catholic guilt. This was my mother. My mother's Sicilian. My mother, that's tall, that wine. You know, literally, she was built like a Jeep. If she took a corner too fast in the kitchen, she'd flip over. And my mother was so Italian, she never got the joke. She's like, that's bullshit. I never fell over once in my life. You think that's funny? You want your mother to fall over, huh? You want your mother to fall over and die. And I get my period, and my mother sits me down at the kitchen table. 14, 15, right? Parents usually talk to their kids in their teens. Why do you think it's in the teens? Because you're fertile, right? You could make a baby. You could make a baby. So we got to do some damage control, right? And that's the other mistake they make. They think, oh, you're sexual then. That's not you're born sexual. You're born sexual, you die sexual. Babies actually find their genitals in the womb. Babies are masturbating in the womb. They are because it's comfort. Now, if you say it's not, it's comfort. It's soothing. Right? But here's this thing where we deny sexuality. We deny children are sexual. We deny our sexuality as a society. It's shameful. We don't want to talk about it. I want to tell you, it is a big bag of shit that you have been sold. And that's not the truth about sex. Like, sex is amazing and incredible, and you have a right to sexually express yourself the way that you want to express yourself. You have a right to do that. But that's not what we hear. I'm going to talk to you about sex so you don't get pregnant, or you don't bring shame to this family, or you don't get hurt. Sex is scary, sex is shameful, sex is something we don't talk about. But if something terrible happens to you, you can talk to me. How the fuck am I going to talk to you? You have never modeled that shit to me, and now you want me to tell you stuff? That's not how it works. And it's normal and natural. And what do our parents talk to us about when it comes to sex? You know, like, what did your mother talk to you about? Did she talk to you about masturbation? She did? Was it good? It wasn't shaming. Was it shaming?
It wasn't shaming.
Okay, good. There's some people, if you touch yourself, you'll go blind. Like, I don't give a shit, I'll wear glasses. Eric, did you get masturbation conversation?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. Did you get tips? You sounded like I'm a dentist.
It works.
Yeah. I love it. Because it works. How about oral sex? Did you get the oral sex conversation?
No.
Oral sex?
It depends.
Okay. Kind of, sort of, you talk around it. You don't have to tell me. You don't have to disclose. I don't want you to feel.
He kind of said don't do it.
Okay.
With that, because, you know, starts with S.
STD? Oh, that you could get an STI from having oral sex? Absolutely true, you could, but there's ways around that. I'm going to talk about that are really fun. Okay. So again, there's a little bit of a scare component to it, right? Like, you got to be careful if you do that. This is what would happen.
For me, no. I know my ways.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying what he said to you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you, it's okay. Listen, here's the thing. This is really uncomfortable, and if there's anything that I say, you can go, I just don't want to answer that, all right? Because I'm not asking you to defend yourself. I'm not asking you to defend who you are sexually or how you express yourself. I'm not saying you don't have to do that, you know? Because that's not what it's about. It's just about, let's get to what parents feel comfortable and don't feel comfortable. Because I think mostly what parents focus on is intercourse, the penis and the vagina, right? And that's when they talk to you. They're talking to you about sex. And what we're taught in society is sex is a penis and a vagina. When I say sex, right, in society, most people think penis and a vagina. That's what sex is. And that's a small part of what sex is. And what happens if you're gay, bisexual, transgender, and you're not interested in having a penis anywhere near your vagina? Or you have a penis and you don't want to put it anywhere near your vagina? What the fuck are you doing? Hokey? Like, what the hell is that? You know, like we're so focused on what sex is and what we're willing to talk about. Now, how about anal sex? Oh, absolutely not.
Pain in the ass.
Pain in the ass. But did your father talk to you about anal sex?
No.
No, because that's where we draw the line at the booty, right? Exit only. Okay. So just so you know, we're going to talk about all of it. Nothing gets left on the table. BDSM, LGBTQ, like all of it gets expressed, and all of it gets talked about because it's all sex. But here's the other thing that I want to say, because there is 1% of the population that identifies as asexual, and I never used to talk about asexuality because I didn't know anything about it. And a couple of years ago, I went to a conference, and there was a woman who was speaking who identified as asexual. She was not interested in sex. She wasn't interested in sex where it had anything to do with her genitals, right? So she was in a relationship with another woman who was very sexual, and her partner had sex with other people, and there were rules about it, so they were polyamorous. But she was really interested in the whole power dynamic of sex. So she had 2 slaves. And so for her, it was about the BDSM portion of it. And I think a lot of times when we think about sex too, we're thinking about sex as far as body, and for some people, they don't get off in their body, they get off in their brain. So sex can be anything, and people are into all kinds, like some people like to have food poured on them. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's like, and I couldn't get into that because I'm Italian. If I'm going to put shit on you and I can't eat it, and no one's eating it, I'm pissed off. You know, because they don't want, they're like, I'm going to sit on this cake and then you can't lick it. Fuck you, that was cake. And I'm pissed off right now. But like, that's not for me. Like some people are into balloons. I don't know where they get these balloons, and they blow up big balloons, and they get inside balloons, and they rub balloons on themselves, and get like a little static electricity and freaking charged. And okay, some people like to dress up as horses. You know what I mean? Like it's pony play. And I can't even do that because I can't even. Because I sound like a sick dolphin. You know what I mean? Like I know my limitations. But anything can be sexual, and people sexualize all kinds of things. And I think when we just focus on one thing, we rob ourselves and we rob other people of their sexual expression. So being a sex educator, I started early with my kid because I knew how important it was. And so I'm going to say something to you. What I used to say to young people when I started 20 years ago is if you're gay, bisexual, transgender, live your life out loud and be proud of who you are. And if you have an opinion against someone who's gay or bisexual or transgender, keep it to yourself, because opinions are like assholes and everyone has them, and come out and be gay. But I just find that as a society, we are so different. Because I'm talking to you, and my daughter just graduated, and she's going to college. And my kid, when it comes to sexuality and gender, she is okay with all of it, and all of her friends are okay with it. And we've got people that are coming out younger, and there's not an issue, and people have got each other's back. So, like, if you're cool with someone being gay or bisexual or transgender, please applaud. Like, out loud. And I gotta tell you, 20 years ago, it wasn't the whole room applauding. 20 years ago, people would boo me. I would get booed, and I'd go, Because I am not backing down. You have no right to shame someone and kill someone's spirit about who they are. Right? And that's not the case anymore. And I have to tell you, I get chills when I think about it, because I never thought that I was going to see that in my lifetime. Like, I thought I was going to still have to stand up here and say that and defend people who are gay, bisexual. I don't have to do that anymore. So there's a new thing I have to ask you to do. As the next generation, as the people who are going to change this world, because it's not going to happen with politicians, it's going to happen with you, within your families, with the children that you have, that when you go to have children, that you start talking to them when they're little. You talk to them when they're babies. That's the only way the shame is going to go away around sex. You're going to be the people that do that. Like, you fucking took the shame away and the stigma away from being gay, bisexual, transgender. You did that. You stood up and said, no more, fuck that shit. So you're going to be the generation that's going to change it with your children. You're going to be the generation that sits down and talks, because it's never going to go away. And the statistics are appalling when we don't talk to children. 1 in 3 women have been sexually molested. 1 in fucking 3 women have been sexually molested. 1 in 4 men have been sexually molested. 1 in 4. And that didn't have to happen. The only reason it happens is because we don't talk about sex. Because sex lives in the dark. And when sex lives in the dark, nasty shit gets to happen. But if you bring light on it and you give knowledge to children, people go, oh, knowledge is power. It is, but it's also protection. And the first thing a sexual predator does is find out if a kid knows the name of their genitals. Do you know that's the first thing they do? Because it's a whole seduction thing. And if you don't know the name of your genitals, do you know what that says to someone? No one's talked to you. So you're less likely to say something if something happens to you. You are not armed. You are not confident. You are not powerful. So you start early, and I knew that being a sex educator. So I was committed to my kid being sexually powerful and in her body. So every time I changed her diaper, I'd say, okay, mommy's cleaning your vulva. I'm touching your vulva, I have to touch your vulva, daddy touches your vulva, we have to clean your vulva. Anybody else touches your vulva, you bite them till they bleed or try to get an eye out. And she would always touch her vulva. Whenever I took her, she was like right there, and I go, I know that feels good. You can go ahead and touch your vulva. And you know vulva was her 3rd word? Like literally, I went to change her diaper one day and she went, vulva, and I'm like, yes, that's my baby, it's your vulva. And she loved her vulva. She loves it. And I wanted my kid to go ahead and feel comfortable in her body and know about boundaries. So, her first sleep rally, I know you like to touch your vulva before you go to bed at night. You can't do that at your friend's house. That's a private act. Because at 3, she wanted to do it in the driveway. She's like, oh, I love my vulva. I'm like, no, not in the driveway. But I know it feels good. You do that in your room. And so she's having a situation. I know not to touch my vulva. I know only to do it in my room with the door shut and all the shades down. And I'm like, well, I don't know if all the shades have to be down. But yeah, in your room with the door closed. And I wanted my kids to be orgasmic. So I went ahead and got a shower head, a detachable dinosaur shower head. And I would soak her up, and then I'd give her the shower head and go ahead and I'd go ahead, rinse yourself off. And she'd go, it's like I'm knocking on the door 20 minutes later. You ready? My vulva's really dirty. I'm like, okay, you just keep cleaning your vulva. And she would just be eyes glassed over, happy. We had a high water bill, but it was important. It was the price that I paid. And then at 10, she had the sex talk at school. And she came home and she didn't want to talk about it. I said, okay, I guess you don't want to talk about it, but I'm going to ask you something. Did they say to you that you have to be married? What did they tell you? I said, did they tell you sex was between a man and a woman? She's like, yeah. I go, that's bullshit, right? She goes, yeah, I know. Uncle Michael, Uncle Tom, And then I went and recruited lesbians because I had no lesbians in my life. And so then I had lesbian friends, and then she was like, and then there's Shalia, and there's Susie. I'm like, okay, good. So you know that they're having sex. Yeah, I know, Mom. I said, what else did they tell you? Did they tell you you had to be married? She said, yes. I said, well, let me tell you what I think about waiting till you're married. I said, I hope you don't get married till you're 35. And that's a long-ass time to wait to have sex. And sex is pretty incredible. It is. And if you haven't had sex yet, or if you had sex and it was really awful, because I'm going to tell you, I had really shitty sex for a really long time. I had shitty, bad, sad sex. But we'll talk about that in a minute. I said to her, here's the deal. When you're ready to have sex, I don't want you to have sex in the woods, so you get poison ivy on your ass. And I don't want you to have sex in a car where you're going to be worried about getting caught, unless that's your thing. But, you know, it's not going to be very fun in the beginning. I said, you can have sex in your room. I said, and when you choose to have sex with someone, I hope you choose someone who thinks that you're incredible. Because if you think about it, sex is an exchange of energy. You're letting somebody into your body. You're letting their energy into your body. And who do you want to share your energy with? Whose energy do you want in your body? And when you choose them, I hope you think they're incredible. And I hope that they think you're the most amazing human being that walks the face of the earth. And that's all I ask. That's all that I ask. So what kind of decision do you make when someone says that to you? Because that's not what my mother said to me. You know, what my mother said to me is, if you sleep in the same bed with a man, you're going to have a baby. And if you have sex before you get married, when you die, you go to hell. And if you do before you get married, I'm going to know. I'm going to know because God and your dead grandfather. Your dead grandfather, my father. They're going to see you. They're going to see you. They're going to tell me, and I'm going to kill you so you can go to hell fast. I was afraid of sex. I'm not even riding a bicycle. I protected my virginity. I would not go on anything where I could fall, but this was locked up. This was locked up, and I was proud of being a virgin. That was the first thing I tell you, I'm a virgin. Yeah, I'm a virgin. I was 21 going on 2, going, shit, I'm a fucking virgin. I could get hit by a bus tomorrow and die a virgin. I am not going to die a virgin. I can get laid. I was on a mission to get laid. I was on a mission to get laid. So I talked to my friends, and I'm going to get laid this year. We're at the bar. I just turned 21. I'm drinking. I'm getting laid this year. They're like, all right, Maria, you getting laid? I go, yeah, I'm getting laid. What's it like? And they were worse than my mother. They scared the shit out of me. They're like, Maria, the first time you do it, it hurts. It hurts. It hurts, and they go, and you bleed. Bleed. They told me I'm like, well, how much blood? I'm going to bleed, well, and no one will tell me. So I think it's bad. Like, I got visions of the movie Curie. I think it's going to be like buckets of blood. And so I go, all right, I don't give a shit. I'm getting laid. I got to get laid. Because I met this guy. And I decided he was the one. Now, he doesn't know that I have crowned him the one. And now it's real. And I'm like, all right, so I'm going to have sex. I'm going to have sex with this guy. And what happens if he wants oral sex? Because that's what you have to realize. There was no internet. There was no internet. So I had no way of finding out how to give a blowjob. You know, there's like no, how to, blowjob.com, suck dick, .org, .net. So I'm asking my friends, I'm like, how do I do that? And my friends, I swear to God, I don't know where the hell I found my friends. They came from under a rock. Do you know what they told me? They told me to practice on a banana. That's what I'm like, just go practice on a banana. But nobody told me to peel the banana. So I'm like freaking gagging. I'm like, oh great, my first sexual experience is going to be blood splatter on the wall. It's like, shit, this is a crime scene. Oh, she was a big virgin. This was so, look at that view. She was so virgin. But I practiced. And then my friends told me how not to get pregnant. Like I did like this math, I don't remember what you do, but you take the day you get your period and you like square it and pi it to the moon, and there's this one day, like 5, 10, whatever days later, you can't get pregnant. So that day is a week away, and I am freaking out, right? So I make an emergency appointment at the counseling center, and she's like, well, what's the emergency? I go, I have this opportunity to get laid, and I'm scared shitless, and I don't know what to do. It's my emergency. And she's looking at me, and she's like, well, you might want to wait. I'm like, I'm not fucking waiting. I don't know when this is happening again. I'm doing it. I got the courage. I got the dude. I'm doing it. I got like 2 more days, and I'm doing it. And she's like, okay. And I go, but I'm nervous. And she's like, well, you may want to consider maybe just having a drink. Right? Just relax. A drink. She said, a drink. I'm a senior in college. I don't hear a drink. I hear shit-faced. I hear shit-faced. So I decide that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get drunk. I decide I'm a theater major. I'm going to act like I know what I'm doing. I'm going to do the mirror exercise. And the mirror exercise, you just do whatever the other person, you mirror what they do. I'm going to do the mirror exercise shit-faced. That is my strategy. So the day comes, I'm going to get sex. I start drinking at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I am drunk off of my ass, because I am not going to sober up for this freaking event. I am so, like, you know when you get drunk and one of your eyes closed and you look like that? I am that drunk. And I remember laying there going, oh shit, there's 3 of them. I'm focused on the dude in the middle. What's he doing? Oh, wow. He's scrunching up his face like it hurts. And he's like, oh. Oh, baby. I know, it's crazy, right? It's like, that's what I did. That's what I did, and then when we were done, right? Like I was like, well, that's sex. It sucks. It sucked. It sucked. And it's not like you talk to your friends. How was it? Oh, it sucked. I don't even know. I didn't bleed. It was like nothing. It just sucked. It was like one of those things. I was like, okay. But I didn't think about it. Like that's how I had sex for the next 7 years. I'd meet someone. I'd think they were cute. I would date them. I'd find the day on the calendar. I'd get shit-faced and hope for that. Or I'd be at a party and I think someone was cute and I'd get drunk and hook up with them because I would have never done that if I was sober. Because I'm a good girl. Fuck yeah, I would have done that if I knew what the hell I was doing and I was comfortable with myself. But I wasn't. And then I had this friend that we would hook up whenever I was in town in San Francisco. We'd be friends for like 4 years. And we decided we were going to be play buddies. And what my friend didn't tell me is that he had herpes. And I didn't ask. I never asked. I couldn't even talk about a condom. Like I had no business having sex. And here I was with herpes. And it took getting herpes for me to change the way that I had sex. Because it was right there in my face. You know, I had like this physical manifestation of all the shame and all the pain around sex. And I was so, can you imagine how bummed I was? I was so bummed. Not only was I bummed that I had herpes, but I was so bummed that on top of herpes, I had shitty sex. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, I have really shitty sex and herpes. That's like double secret. That's not a great thing. And I couldn't do anything about the herpes, but I thought I'm going to do something about the way that I have sex. So I started this journey of sexual healing. And that's how I've come up with these rules. See, because the thing is, the first time or the next time that you go to have sex, I want you to feel good about it. And you might not have an orgasm. I'm going to tell you, I've had so much fun with people sexually and not had an orgasm. Because it's not always about the orgasm. And I think that's what we focus on all the time, right? And it's really this exchange and this play with somebody. And I'm not saying for you to go out and have sex tomorrow. But what I am saying, because if you want to wait till you get married, wait till you get married. There is something amazing about being in a committed relationship with someone and having the same partner because you're safer and you get to build this incredible sexual repertoire with somebody. But just because you're married doesn't mean you're going to have great sex. And I think that's where we miss in society. Well, sex is something, why? Why is sex something that married people do? Well, if it's a religious and spiritual commitment and you believe that, great. But you still need to know how to have sex. Someone still needs to talk to you about sex. As a matter of fact, I think if people start talking to us about sex and we're comfortable about it, I think the waiting and delaying to have sex, that actually is starting to happen. Because there's places for you to get information about sex, right? And I think your brain's formed more, and the way that you have sex and how you approach sex is differently if you wait till you're longer. Do you have to? Is there something wrong and bad with you if you do? Absolutely not. It's not a judgment. It is not a judgment. But how do you know when you're ready to have sex? How do you know? There's two things I say. Ask yourself, and anyone can have sex, but I mean like great sex. You ask yourself, can I have sex with the lights on and the sheets off? No, like sex in the dark, groping for stuff? That's freaking confused. Like, oh shit, it's a knee. You know what I mean? Like, what do you, like, all out, like, woo, let's do it. And can you tell someone what you want? Because communication is the key to great sex. Like, can you tell someone what you want, when you want it, how you want it, and why you want it? And can you show someone how you want it? Can you literally do that? Because if you can do that, you truly want it. And you're going to help your partner. You know, those are the things that you want to be able to do. It's a whole different way to look at sex, isn't it? It's a whole different way we've talked about it. And really, the first rule to having great sex is know yourself. Because sex starts with you. It doesn't start with anybody else. It starts in your mind. This is the biggest erogenous zone that you have. This is the sexiest place to be. This is juicy, juicy, juicy. And I'm telling you, it makes the juices flow to other places. Your mind, your fantasies. So you've come to an institution to think. I want you to think about sex. I want you to think the nastiest, juiciest.
God, stop.
Yeah, I know. No, like literally, boldly go where you've never gone before. Have you ever had a fantasy and went, oh shit, no, I can't do that? Oh, yes, you can. You know, it doesn't mean you can physically do it, because you might not be able to get your head up that, you know what I mean? Like, you might not be able to get your leg up that high, but in your, I mean, my fantasy, there's like 8 people. I'm having fun with 8. I could not do that in reality. I'm too ADHD, my head is slow. Oh, can I? Vibrate, put on vibrate. So he had his phone, he's like, I gotta go because I'm on call, that's why I'm in the back, you know? He goes, but I have it on vibrate, and I go, stick it in your pocket, and I'll text you. And now he's just getting why I wanted him to stick it in his pocket, and why I would text him. I said, you'll enjoy the show more. And he's like, all right, now you go. Okay, good. So like, you know what, literally, I want to say something. You can do anything in your fantasies, and here's the thing. You can do anything you want with another person if they say yes. You can do anything. Like, you want to dress up like the post person and make a special delivery. Hello, I have a package for you. Would you like to pull a string? Pull a string. Go ahead, watch it. What? Because there's always clowns in my fantasy. There's a lot of rubber noses and red noses I'm squeezing. Anything. As long as it doesn't involve an animal or a child, frickin' go for it. You can do whatever you want. You both want to do it, do it. You know, there just has to be agreement and a conversation about it. So where in your head do you stop yourself? You know, we're in society where you say, no, you can't do that, and then you think, oh, I can't do that. I can't do that because society says, or if I do that, that means I'm, you know, and then you make it mean something about yourself because there's something you want to do. Anything. You know what it means? If you want to do it, it means you want to do it. That's all that it means. So I'm going to talk about anal sex because that's the thing that we don't talk about in our society. So I'm going to talk about anal sex. And here's the thing. I think one of the reasons we don't, it's the anus. Ooh, that's gross. Right? There's that whole thing. I'm going to tell you, do you know how many nerve endings there are around the opening of the anus? It's like, oh my goodness. Incredible. As a matter of fact, the anus is much more sensitive than the vagina. And here's the thing. If you have a vulva, and it's called a vulva, right? If you were born with a vulva, it's not a vagina. Vagina is part of the vulva. Vagina, there are very few nerves in and around the vagina, because that's where babies come out. And God is kind. It just hurts, really. It is. However, you have labia. And so labia, you know, the vulva and the penis are the same. Vulva, right? Scrotum, the labia on a vulva is the scrotum, or the Gucci dab, right? Penis is the clitoris. So if you have a vulva, when you get excited, you literally get a hard on. It's like, it gets hard and it is sensitive, and you rub that and you touch it, it's like, ah, that's our happy place. That is our happy place. So remember the movie Finding Nemo? Remember that? Find your clitoris happy place. And some people say clitoris, just to, but I say clitoris because it sounds tough. Like, don't mess with clitoris, she will kick your ass. So there are all these nerve endings, right? There's a sanitary stuff. You have to go ahead and make sure your anus is clean. You have to go ahead and give yourself an enema. There's all that stuff that happens. Okay? And here's the other thing. If you have a vulva, and I'm going to say if you're a woman, I don't say if you're a woman or you're a man, if you have a vulva or a penis, because there's some people who have vulvas that don't identify as women, and there's some people with penises that don't identify as men. So I don't like to go ahead and ascribe gender to genitals. They're just people with vulvas, people with penises. So that way, there's no, ooh, I have a vulva, but I'm not a woman. So we're comfortable and it's neutral. So anus, everyone has an anus, and you can identify as anyone has an anus. I have a friend who's a lesbian who loves anal sex. She wrote the book, The Ultimate Guide to Anal Sex for Women. Lesbian, vulva, loves anal sex. If you have a penis, you also have a prostate gland. And that prostate gland is like a magic button. It's a magic, like if you find it, if you touch it, ding, 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 you will get a prize. So it's pleasurable. Here's the thing though, it's the riskiest sex that you can have. Anal sex, the sex that we don't talk about, is the riskiest sex that you can have. So you always have to use a condom. Doesn't matter if you have a vulva, doesn't matter if you have a penis. Anus is the same for everyone. It's built the same way. Lining is thin, no natural lubrication, can tear easily. Anywhere there's a tear, there's an opportunity for an infection. I do not like regular condoms. This is the condom that I absolutely love and prescribe. And I know it's big, right? It's like I'm huge, but not that big. It looks like a windsock, doesn't it? Everyone gets one to find it. It's windy, don't go out. Wear a jacket, Johnny. Isn't this wild? It's called the FC2. So you can use this for vaginal intercourse. And what's great about this for vaginal intercourse is that you can put this in your vagina like 6 hours before you have intercourse. So it's like set it and forget it. And it's also great because it covers everything for vaginal intercourse. And this can hit your clitoris during intercourse. So you're more likely to have an orgasm. Yeah. So the way that you use it is you squeeze it, there's a ring, you place this into the vagina, you put your fingers inside, and then this ring goes around the cervix. And how do you know you found the cervix? Touch your nose. Just go ahead, everyone touch the tip of your nose. That's what a cervix feels like. So if you've ever had your fingers in your vagina or someone's vagina goes, shit, there's a nose in here. It's not a nose. It is the cervix. Okay. So how do you use it for anal sex? And did you see how wet it is? It's actually made of, it's not made of latex, it's made of a polyurethane. Polyurethane, you can use oil with polyurethane. So this is covered in oil. You can use olive oil. I love olive oil. If you're not using latex, olive oil is an amazing lubricant, right? Because then orally, you can go ahead and then every time you have a salad, you get excited. I might not be extra virgin, but my oil is. So there's no natural lubrication in the anus. This thing is covered in oil. It is seriously lubed, right? It can't rip or tear. And the other reason I love it is because a condom could slip off during anal sex. This isn't going to slip off. This prevents it from slipping into the anus, the ring. So this FC2, and I don't know if you have them on campus. RAs, do you know if you have these on campus? All right, so go to the health department and ask them. Everyone sends an email to the health department. And yes. Oh, they have them at the Women's Center? We love the Women's Center. Go to the Women's Center. Okay? Free? Free at the Women's Center. No questions asked. Just go in. Are they going to dish by the door? Awesome. Dish by the door, Women's Center, FC2. Go get some, play with them. Okay. So, let me just say one more thing about the anus. Whenever you insert anything into the anus, you never put a vibrator, a cylinder, into the anus. Vibrator is a cylinder. Never put a vibrator into the anus. You have to use a dildo, anal beads, anything where you can get it out, right? Because if you put a vibrator in your vagina, it slips in, you can get it out of your vagina. There's an end to your vagina. If you put a cylinder into the anus, there's no end. So it's like, going, gone. And I say that because I have friends who work in an ER that say, Marie, please make that announcement. Please educate people. Because every weekend we have like 30 people in here with something lost up their ass. And we got to get it out. And we can't give it to them. They're very, very upset. Because that's anything that comes out of the body goes to pathology. So it has to have a handle. It has to be bigger. Like, see this microphone? This would be perfect to insert in an anus. Because see that? It's got a handle. So that is good. This microphone stand, this would be good. This bottle, no bueno. That would not be good. No, this microphone would not be good, right? But trust me, you're going to leave here, and you're going to walk around here going, I'm trying to see if you put that up my ass. Up my ass, not up my ass. It's a new game show on PBS. I would fucking pay money for that show. Now back to your host. No. I was going to go somewhere. I'm not going to go there. Okay. And I never used to talk about anal sex. And then this girl came up to me once after a lecture, and she grabbed me as I'm walking, right? I'm like walking out, and she grabs me. She goes, I need to talk to you. I'm like, okay. She's like, my boyfriend and I are having anal sex. I'm like, okay. But I don't keep track of that shit. I'm not going to shut it off and get another one. But the way she said it was like, I literally, like, she was tall, right? She was on the lacrosse team. Like, this tall woman is like towering over me. And I'm like, okay, well, do you like it? She's like, no, I don't. I'm like, you don't? Well, why are you having anal sex? She's like, well, I've been with my boyfriend for 2 years, and, you know, he was getting frustrated, but I wanted to be a virgin when I get married, so I'm doing that to make him happy. So, you know, there were like 3 fucked up things in that sentence, right? 3. I want to be a virgin when I get married, so if you put your dick in my ass, I still am. 1. My boyfriend wants to, I don't want to. I'm doing that to make him happy. Literally. And I'm like, well, you might know, you know, you don't have, you know, I have to. I have to. He's captain of the lacrosse team, and, you know, he's popular, and I'm in a sorority, and I'm like, you know, like, I don't have time. I'm just standing here thinking, how do I get to this woman? And I said, well, you practice in safer sex? And she looked at me like I was crazy. She's like, well, why do we need to? She goes, I'm a woman. I said, well, your anus is the same as a man's anus. It doesn't matter. Anus is an anus. You could get a tear, an infection. We've never been with anybody else. And I'm like, okay, that you know of. You know what I mean? Like, how do you know that? But I'm thinking, how do I get to her? Because I was really worried for her. And I looked at her and I said, do you realize that you could get pregnant? And she looked at me, she's like, what are you talking about? And I said, well, you think about it. There's only like that much space between the opening of your anus and your vagina. And sink and swim. And now she's listening. She's like, oh my God. She goes, what was the name of that condom again? I said, I'm not telling you the name of that condom. She's like, well, why aren't you? I said, well, you can't have anal sex. And she's like, well, why can't I? And I said, because you don't fucking like it. That's why. And like, I always want to say, like, you know, the big question, the other question you ask yourself is like, why are you having sex? Why? 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 Have you ever asked yourself, why sex? Why do I have to have sex? Why do I want to do that? And the only reason you should ever have sex is because you want to, and because you like it, or you think you'll like it. You don't have sex to get someone, to keep someone, to make them happy because they were nice to you. Send them a fucking thank you card. And you don't have sex with someone because you love them. You don't have sex with someone because you love them. And I'm not saying that I don't believe in love. Well, I don't really believe in love. I don't believe in that romantic love. You know, that they make me weak in the knee shit? Because that's not love, that's polio. I believe in deep love. I believe in that. So, you know, like parents will say, oh, sex is something that people who love each other do. But people who love each other do a whole bunch of other shit. You know, like they go bowling. You know what I'm saying? You have sex with someone because you think you'll like it, because you want to, right? And because you can go ahead and tell them what you want, because you know yourself. That's why you have sex. And there's other ways to know yourself. So you know your mind, but you need to know yourself physically. I think in order to enjoy sex, you need to know yourself physically. And how do you do that? By masturbating. I am the biggest fan of masturbation. I try to masturbate every day. Every day. I have cruise control for that reason. And a GPS. He's in the bathroom. Like every day.
I'm just thinking that's real concentration.
Oh, while I'm driving?
Yeah.
Well, see, here's the thing. If you have a vulva, you actually have the ability to think yourself an orgasm. You know that you don't even have to touch yourself. It's with your mind. It's like I think, I come, therefore I am. That's why we don't mind rush hour traffic. We're like, oh. I love bottles. I just really do. So, I want to talk a little bit about masturbation, because I used to just assume that everyone masturbates, and it really is. Most people with penises masturbate, and a lot of people with vulvas don't. And then I felt like, you know, if you had a vulva, people were like, oh, there must be something wrong with me because I don't masturbate. And there's nothing wrong with you. If you have a vulva and you don't masturbate, it actually kind of makes sense, because if you have a penis, there's your penis, right? You can see your penis. Like and if you are aroused, you know you're aroused, because your penis is like, hello, like literally, hello, I am aroused. And then it doesn't go, hello. It might start going, hello. There it goes, hello, freaking touch me now, rub up against some shit, you're gonna do something, because it is relentless. The penis, when it's just like, but the clitoris is smaller, so it just the nature of it being smaller and hidden, it's not as loud. It whispers. It's like, and you can miss that shit. You're like, oh shit, did I leave the window open? And I know. So you have to work to hear the call of your clitoris. So, you know, like at night before you go to bed in the morning, just like lay there and have your fantasy, and then you'll start to like, what's the sound of my clitoris? And then you'll hear your clitoris. And then you can masturbate. Well, how do you masturbate? I've never done that. You could use your hand. I'm lazy. I don't have a hand. Shower head is amazing, but you're on campus, and you can't go ripping those out of the wall. I'll make my own, damn it! I just tell you what I just recently discovered. Water pick. A water pick. Oh yes. A water freaking pick. Yes, you know what a water pick is? No. It's like you use it, it shoots the water and like for your gums. Shoot. Oh! Yes! And you get them now that you can charge them, they get them, but there's not enough water in those. So you and they stain. Vibrators, I love vibrators. Where can you get vibrators here? Is it like not here on campus? No. Actually, Oberlin College has their own vibrator store on campus.
So, just saying, there are a lot of work that do sex toy bingo, so...
Oh, there's sex toy bingo?
Oh, there's sex toy bingo.
Okay, sex toy bingo. Yes, and there are some sex toy stores around here in Providence. Oh, wait a minute. My friend, who's a sex educator, there is one in Providence, and I can't think of the name of it right now. There's what, Spencer's? Yes, what's it called? My friend May and Angela owns it. What is it called? Okay, Mistress Erotica? Mr. Sister Erotica? Okay. LGBTQ friendly. You could go online. You could go to goodvibrations.com. Goodvibrations.com. I just bought like 5 vibrators last week. Research. Look at the people like on their phones now. Vibrators, good vibration. Vibrators near me. We didn't have that shit. We had to go looking. If you've never gotten a vibrator, let me just break them down. There's 2 types of vibrators. There are battery-operated vibrators, and then there are plug-ins. Now, this just blew my mind when I was doing my vibrator research. They actually have vibrators where you can plug them into your USB port on your laptop. So you can like, literally charge it on your fucking Mac. You could just be like watching porn and just charging up your vibrator. Those are not to be confused with a plug-in. Plug-in vibrators are very strong. So if you have a sensitive clitoris, you do not want a plug-in because it's like, oh! It's like, it is like intense. It's like, you know, my neighbors know when I'm home because the light's dim. Those things are powerful. It's like, shit, she's back. And this air conditioning is not working now. Okay. Battery-operated vibrators, there are so many different kinds. I just got one that looks like lipstick. So it's in a little lipstick thing, and it looks like lipstick because I was tired of having my vibrator, like my battery operated, and if you're going to travel, take the batteries out, because I've had my vibrator start vibrating in my bag as it comes off of the carousel. It's like, okay. They have the rabbit pearl. Oh, the rabbit pearl. I just like did a show the other night and said the rabbit pearl, and someone in the audience went, and I was like, testify! The rabbit pearls, it has these pearls that go around like this, and the part of the penis goes like this, and then it has like the ears on the rabbit for your clitoris, hippity-hoppity magical. So I would get, everyone needs a rabbit pearl in their repertoire of vibrators. Okay, so that's vibrators. You can get them online. They come in a brown box. It doesn't like Big Daddy on it. This is a vibrator. Nobody will know. You can get vibrating anal beads. I mean, it's just amazing what you can get online. So go online and get some toys. That's one way to know yourself. How about if you're sitting here and you're like, well, Maria, I'm not going to masturbate. It's against my religious beliefs. I'm not going to do that. Then don't masturbate. But you can't do Kegels, because Kegels are an exercise used to build the pelvic floor. And you can literally get to the point where you orgasm, and you'll orgasm easily, especially during anything inserted into your vagina. And we're gonna do a Kegel now, because that's the amazing thing about it.
Any volunteers?
No, everyone. Everyone with a vulva can do it right here, right now. And no one will know. So imagine right now that you're peeing. Just imagine you're peeing. Everyone's peeing. If you have a vulva, you're peeing. Don't really pee, because that's bad. There's no real peeing happening now. We'll get to the penises in a minute. Wait, this guy's like shaking his head. Dude, we'll get to penises in a minute. All right. First we're doing vulva. And then we're going to do Kegels for penises.
Yes.
All right, so you're peeing. Everyone's been peeing, I apologize. So you're peeing. Now stop yourself from peeing, like really, literally squeeze and stop. That's a Kegel. And pee. Hold on. And squeeze. And pee. And nobody knows you're doing it. You can do it anywhere. Like you could be in the middle of a boring class and go, squeeze. Squeeze. Oh! I get the square root now. Yes. Yes, you go pee. Okay. Now, but you're missing Kegels for men. So if you, or men or penises, so I apologize, I just said that. How do you do a Kegel if you're peeing? If you have a penis. If you are a penis. I am a penis, I am Kegeling now. Okay. You actually do them and you don't realize you're doing it. You know when you make your penis dance? And it's like you just make your penis go up and down like that, and it's like, and you might even do it to music like, I'm gonna rock it now! That is a Kegel! That is a Kegel! And you want to work up to 200 of those a day. And why do you want to do 200 a day? It's a muscle. And it's a muscle that if you keep that muscle working, you will never need to take Viagra. Because what happens is you're not in touch with the muscle. As you get older, your muscles break down. And that muscle is broken down and you can't get an erection anymore. But if you've been working that muscle all along, 200, but no, you're not done when you do 200. Then you take a face cloth and you wet it and you fold it in half and you fold it in half again. So it's a strip and you put it on your, over your, like, right here your penis. So here it is, here's your penis, right there. And then go back to lift into 200. Now, you're like, why? Why do I want to do that? Because, now wait a minute, guys. Like you're looking at me, when I'm going to tell you why you want to do that, why you want to control that muscle, look at me. Because that's the muscle that controls your ejaculation. And you can literally stop yourself on a dime. You will have ninja dick. Literally, now you just went, shit, that just paid for the first year of college. Right there. Right there. Because again, the commitment is that you have great sex. That's my commitment, that you have great sex. And no one tells you that. And then you're walking around going, oh my God, I can't stop myself. I can't control it. Well, there's a way to control that. And you have a right to be able to control when you ejaculate. And you have a right to be able to last longer. And you have a right to feel good about yourself sexually. And the same thing with condoms. You know, like you've been taught, use a condom so you don't get somebody pregnant, use a condom so you don't get an STI. Well, use a condom so that way when you're done having sex, you're not worried if you got someone pregnant or have an STI. Use a condom. Condoms suck. I'm going to say it. I'm not going to lie to you. But condoms with lube are magical. You need to buy, when you have sex, when you go to have sex and you want to have fun, safer sex, you need to set your bed for sex. So when you leave here, you all need to go and buy a vat of lube. You need a big thing of Astroglide. You need Astroglide is the best lube on the market. So there's a field trip to CVS, or go on Amazon and get yourself some Astroglide. You get yourself some condoms. Get some female condoms for the FC2. And the other thing that you need to have on your bed when you go to have sex is plastic wrap. Non-microwavable plastic wrap. Microwavable is porous. Non-microwavable isn't. For oral sex, amazing. You can literally put it from here to here. You can cover yourself up. You can make a whole freaking outfit and be fashionable. Someone can get lost looking at you. Bondage. People want to try bondage now. I don't have time for ropes. And I lose keys. It's not good. Like 3 days later, fire department's coming in. Person's in the... I couldn't find a key. Plastic wrap, easy. You can wrap somebody in plastic wrap. You can control how you bondage someone, how you tie someone up. You might want to do one arm. You might want to do both arms. You might want to feel it here. You might want to feel it here. You might want to bond someone in their feet. You might want to bond their arms together. Plastic wrap. Sounds like a commercial. Plastic wrap. Here is an amazing thing that you can do. Someone gets out of the shower, wet. Wrap them in plastic wrap. And it's like all stuff. Then you get chocolate sauce. And you warm it. Warm. You should be checking on yourself before you pour, because if you melt plastic, that's ouchy. That's not sexy. That's hurdy-hurdy. And you drip. Could you imagine that? Like on your lip. Oh. And then you get ice cream. I feel like Oprah. Ice cream! And you put the cold over the warm and then lick. Have yourself some dessert. Plastic wrap. You need plastic wrap. You need gloves. Latex, not play shit. Don't get latex. Don't get the yellow gloves that your mother uses to wash your dishes. Because that's not sexy. That's scary. It's like, I'm here to clean up. I'm a minion. No. Are you all kind of like, whoa? Right? You feel a little bit better about your sex and about what you're going to do sexually? So here's the last thing. Don't have sex drunk. Don't have sex drunk. It's not good if you have drunk sex. You know why it's not good? 2 reasons. You can't feel how good it is. Sex depresses your nervous system. And do you know what else it depresses? Your hearing. Do you know how important it is to be able to hear somebody say something to you? That's why drunks get loud. Because they can't hear themselves. They literally can't hear themselves. So, hey, you know what? I just shit myself. Don't tell anybody. I just shit. Myself, I shit myself, I shit myself. Let's dance. All right, so there aren't any upperclassmen on this campus yet, right?
We're here.
Up here. But you are orientation youth, right? No, what are you? Moving crew. But the other upperclassmen aren't here yet, right?
I'm here.
Yeah, but I'm talking about in general. In general, it's freshmen. They bring me in before the upperclassmen come in. I come in to talk to you because a lot of times, and it didn't happen with Michael, because Michael and I have known each other from another college, but there was a couple of campuses where the orientation director said to me, Maria, we started bringing you in early because there were people that would say, like upperclassmen, I gotta have my party before the sex lady comes on campus. Because then the freshmen are gonna know what's up. I'm not making that shit up. I'm not making that shit up. They're like, there are gonna be upperclassmen, you are freshmen, and they see you as fresh meat. And they're gonna have parties, and they're gonna invite you to their parties. And I'm not gonna say to you, don't go, am I making this shit up?
No.
No. And they're gonna invite you to their parties, and I'm not gonna say to you, don't go to the parties, go to the parties. But what I am gonna say to you is when you go to the party, you don't go to the party alone. You go with a sober buddy. And people go sober buddies like one person, have a couple of people, bullshit. You can't watch more than one person. You ever see drunk people? They're like freaking babies, they just and then you're frustrated, you're like, fuck that shit, and you start drinking. So I'm gonna show you how it works, okay? Tell me, what is your it doesn't matter. What is your name?
Sarah.
Sarah. We're gonna go to the party tonight. Wanna go to the party tonight? Alright, I'm gonna be your sober buddy.
Alright.
Tomorrow night, when we go to the other party, you're my sober buddy, okay? So as your sober buddy, I just want you to know that I'm gonna be like watching you all night long. I'm not gonna be like right next to you going, I'm a sober buddy, just aware. You know what I mean? But I'm just like gonna be over here, I'm gonna be like watching you, and if you put a drink down, I'm gonna go ahead and get that drink and bring you another drink. I'm gonna always make sure that you're okay. If you're talking to someone and I feel like they're in your space and they're getting like, you know, I'm gonna come over and maybe spill a drink on you. You know what I mean? Like, oh shit, sorry. And then I'm gonna grab your leg and I'm gonna ask you, are you okay? Or I might go, hey, don't I know you? Because I want to make sure you're okay. And there might be other people at that party that don't have a sober person, and you just go up to that person. If you see like someone's at a party and they're being, you know what I'm talking about, like sweet, you're like, oh, that's a fucked up thing right there. What do I do? That's really fucked up. Do I go over and punch him in the face? No, I'll punch him in the face, no fun. Just go, hey, don't I know you from math class? I didn't talk to you. And I pull aside and go, are you okay? Because if you're not okay, I'll take you out of here. Because people get pressured into sex all the time. And we gotta look out for each other. And it doesn't have to be a big ass thing. Right? So here's the thing, Sarah. If you get so drunk that you go to a room to pass out, I'm gonna go ahead and stand in front of the door. And I'm gonna watch you and I'm gonna wait and make sure you're okay. And I never used to say that, but I've had a couple of young women come up to me and say, can you please say that? Because I had a sober buddy and I went in a room to pass out and somebody came in and raped me. It happens. It's not like I'm not making this shit up. It happens all the time. People get roofied, crazy ass things happen. It's just part of college. And you need to be prepared and ready for that. And you have to have a way to handle it. Because drinking and partying are a big part of college. And I don't want to say you don't have that part of your experience, because it's part of your experience. However, you got to figure out a way to do it safely. And you got to do it in a way that you're taken care of. You know? And I had like this conversation with my kid, and it's like, you know, if you're going to do it, go ahead, find your sober people, do what it is that you got to do it. Because if it happens to you, it happened to you because there was no one there to take care of you. It has nothing to do with you. It has that you didn't have someone take care of you. Because you cannot take care of yourself when you're shit-faced. You see drunk people make crazy-ass decisions all the time and do stupid-ass things and puke in corners. And it just happens. It's a part of college life. So you have to take care of yourself. You got it? Sober sex is great sex. It really is. Not because I'm trying to put it down on you, but because I really just know from all the years of shitty drunk sex, you know, personally. And it was a miracle that I was never sexually assaulted. It's a miracle that that never happened to me, and it's not part of my story. Because it could have easily been a big part of my story. You know? And I can't tell you how many times I was at parties where people got out of control. Like literally in blackout. Have you ever seen that? It's scary. It is really scary. Okay, so I want to go ahead. I need someone so I can show you how to negotiate sex, like actually have a conversation around it. So can I have a volunteer?
Great.
Okay, come on up. Okay, great. And if you vibrate, oh, you're going to give it to someone else? Okay, good.
I mean, I can't bring it down.
No, because then I would just think you got excited. All right. What is your name?
I'm Will.
Will, let's give Will a round of applause. Okay. Oh, okay, good. All right, so Will.
Nice eyes.
Thank you. He just told me I had nice eyes.
Get it.
Let me take off my shirt now.
Oh, it's that easy.
That's all you have to say. So, people, I think, I had a friend who literally, he was in San Francisco, and for 5 years, he would stand in Bryant Park with a sign that said, "Ask Francisco about sex and dating." And for 5 years, people would come up, and you want to know the number one question people asked him? How do I ask someone out? So, Will, I've noticed you on campus. Not that I'm stalking you or anything like that. Don't make it seem I've been stalking you for the last 6 months. No, but I noticed you have like this awesome laugh, and you have all these friends, and you look like you just know how to have fun. And I would love to just get to know you and have a cup of coffee. Are you cool with that? Would you like to go have a cup of coffee?
With you?
Yes. Well, you don't know
For
yet.
this, sure. Why? I love
Yeah.
coffee.
No, but yeah, even not. Like if you just want to have a cup, because we'll get to know each other.
Right.
But do you want to go have a cup of coffee?
I love to have a cup of coffee.
Okay, awesome. So we
Yeah.
go to have a cup of coffee, we hang out.
Great.
And then I go, I think you're really cute. I'd like to have sex with you, or I'd like to have some kind of relationship. Are you cool with that?
About half of it.
About half of it?
Yeah.
All right, so what half of it is it?
The relationship part.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want like a friendship
Yeah.
kind of thing? All right,
Right.
sexually, you're not into having a sexual relationship.
I mean, if I bat for the other team, yeah.
Okay, so well, obviously, so that's not gonna work. But, right, but do you notice how I just asked you directly, I didn't
Right.
beat around the bush about it? I was really just clear with you
Right.
about what I want.
Right.
That's what you do. You're clear. You're just clear with someone, that's what I want. And I wanna have sex.
Right.
So, and if you would say yes, so let's say you don't back for the other team, you're into women.
I say hell yeah. I'm
Okay,
down
good,
right now.
Good, good. Good, if you're down right now, let's just be clear about what that is, because I'm not into monogamy. And I'm
Okay.
not into having sex with everybody on campus, but I'm not looking for a serious relationship.
Okay.
You know, and we can kind of figure out what that looks like, if you want to know, do you not want to know. But you need to be, you know, really, and I hate to use the word straight, like straight gay, but like you need to be clear with people about what it is you're going to do and not do, and not fuck with people's heads. Like just be clear with it. And you know, and it's okay. It's okay, because if you say no, on to the next one. Right? This is a big hand. Good. So if you say yes, we're gonna have sex,
Okay.
so then we're gonna say, when are we gonna have sex? Because like this whole making out and trying to figure this shit out doesn't work. Like where you can touch me, where I can't touch you. Are we gonna have sex? Are we not gonna have sex? No, we're gonna have sex. Because then we're gonna set the bed for sex. So are you down for having sex tonight?
Of course.
Good, because my roommate isn't there.
I'm in a single.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Yes! Because you don't want to have sex. Never. Listen to me, freshman. Never have sex in the bed with your roommate next to you. You got it? No. That is evil bullshit. And you all been worrying about it. So if your roommate does that, you don't put up with that shit. Turn the lights on, rip the sheets off. Well, that's not how you do it, motherfucker. What are you, a mouse? Squeaking in the dark bullshit. So we'll go back to your room. We can be loud. All right, good. And then we're going to be clear about what sex is. Because what I think sex is and what you think sex is completely different.
Right.
And what I'm comfortable doing the first time with someone is very different from what you might be comfortable doing. Because as open as I am sexually, and I'm really clear about, like, there are certain things I can't do with someone the first time I'm with them. I really don't feel comfortable doing that. Like, I have to get comfortable in my body. I've got to be comfortable with you. I have to know if you're going to listen. So usually the first time when I'm with someone, I like to masturbate for them and have them masturbate. And like mutually, like I'll touch you, you can touch me. Maybe a little bit of mouth action. I usually don't have intercourse the first time I'm with somebody. So intercourse is off the table. You know, and I'm just clear about that, you know, and that's what it is. And then for you, it might be this, this, and that. Then we get to having sex, and all of a sudden you change your mind, or I change my mind, and we have a right to change our mind.
Right.
We have a right to change our mind. And if I said to you, do you want to have sex, and you went no, I don't have a right to ask you, why don't you? Or why not? Or why do you want to stop? It's none of your fucking business. That's part of coercion. It's like, well, why don't you? And walk away. Like, you do not have to explain yourself. You just don't want to, and I'm cool with that. There's no need to ever explain why you want to stop, why you don't feel comfortable. You just say no, because it means no. And just because we had sex last week, doesn't mean I have a right to have sex with you next week or tomorrow. I always have to ask you. And if it was okay for me to put my mouth on your penis last week, that doesn't mean it's okay for me to put my mouth on your penis this week. And it's not okay for you to do what you did to me. Like, you always have to ask, is like this cool? Or oh, can we do what we did last time? But here's the thing. Like, there's all that focus. But this is how you get really good at sex with someone. When you're done having sex, you go somewhere where you haven't had sex, and you talk about it. So I look at you and I go, you know what, when we were having sex, and you did, and I tell you what I like. And you tell me what you like. And then you're going to tell me what you don't like. And I'm going to tell you what I don't like. And I'm not going to hear that you don't like something like I suck, or there's something wrong with you. You just don't like it. Because I would never ask you why you don't like chocolate ice cream. What's wrong with you? I don't like chocolate ice cream. Think about it. You don't have to tell me why. You just didn't like it. What do you mean you don't like my chocolate ice cream? You don't like how I scoop it out? Like, people get crazy. It doesn't matter. You just didn't like that. And you wanted more of something else, and you might want to tell me. If I would listen to you from a place of nothing, just listen to you, and you listen to me, then I'm more willing to say to you, you know what I always wanted to do? I wanted to be tied up. Would you want to tie me up? Like, I'm more willing to say that shit. All of a sudden. Yes, and what does that look like? Do you know what I mean? But you have to listen from nowhere. And then I go, you got an hour, let's go now. Let's go back and do it right now. Because if you've got time, and that's what you do. And you always have to keep the line of communication open. And that's how you continue to have great sex. And it's one of the reasons your parents aren't having great sex anymore. Because they stopped talking to each other. And they were busy pretending with each other. And that's what people do in long-term relationships. And they take it personal. And it's not personal. You have your body, I have my body. I like what I like, you like what you like, and I might want to try something different. And that's how it works. Any questions about that? Okay, let's give him a round of applause. Wait, come here. Will. All right, let's give Will a round of applause. That's Romeo. Because Romeo's a whore dog. Oh, I will bring him up. Here, I'll say, come on, Romeo. Come on, Romeo, come. Good boy. Can you sit? Sit. Good boy. Okay, go see Shelly. Okay? Go see Shelly. All right, that's my baby. And he really is a whore, that's why his name's Romeo. Because whore dog would not be appropriate. What's your dog's name? Whore. Okay, so does anybody have any questions? Any questions? Okay. Yes.
So when you often think about, or when you're in the process of having sex, do you typically like lean towards like the nerves and like your like electrical feeling of like what you're trying to get to or like what is currently happening and like you're trying to go to a higher peak?
That's interesting. Am I trying to go somewhere else?
Or like
I never tried
chasing that crave. Like,
no. When I'm with somebody, I said, this is like, this comes from the spiritual level of sex, right? Like, it would be like, no, like literally, because it can be one of those things. Have you ever just been in the moment in life where you are just in the moment? Like, just take a breath right now and be in the moment. Like, everything disappears and you're in the moment. And there's no place to get to. There just is. There's me, there's my partner, and there's this moment. And there's what has ever happened in this moment. Because when you try to chase, like, the dragon and you try to get to the next place, especially if you have a clitoris, it becomes harder because the pressure's like, I gotta get there. And orgasms come from, like, just, they come from nowhere. You're like, ah! Right? Like, everybody's like, oh shit, where did that come from? That was magic. Or it might not even be an orgasm, but it was just the magic of being in the moment with someone, and being in the moment with someone, and being in the moment with someone, and being seen and seeing someone, and connecting. So does that make sense? That's a different place to approach it from. Because when we approach it from this almost very Western way, right? Of there's a place to get to, and you got shit to do, and you got to get someplace, and you got to do this, you got to do that. There's no room for magic to happen. But if you're present, right, and that's the reason why I don't like alcohol. It's like if you're completely present in your body and present with someone else, then anything can happen. And if it doesn't happen, being with someone in the moment was freaking magical enough. Like that was magical, to connect and to be seen and to see someone. And to drop it. Like drop the act and be vulnerable and present. Okay, did you have something else?
I just want to say that, like, I also agree with the jumping part, but like, I also feel like that's like, you're not, that person's not really there with you. Like,
They're not there.
It feels weird.
Yeah, it is. It's not. You're not there. They're not there. You're not there. If you're with someone who's drunk, they are not there. And I'm going to say something that we don't see in the movies, we don't see anywhere else, but sex is scary. When you have sex with someone, it doesn't matter how many times you had sex with someone. Did you just take off again? Okay. Oh, it's scary to be present. And it's okay. And it's okay to say to someone, I'm afraid. It's okay to say that to someone. And if they say to you, don't be afraid, run. 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 You want to be with someone who's like, I hear that, let's breathe and let's be with it. Or do you want to take a break? But it is scary, but we have no fear, just do it. But one of the most incredible things that you can do is be vulnerable with someone. And so I'm just going to be like real with you. So I've been diagnosed with a very rare form of liver cancer, and I had to have a major surgery last year where part of my liver was removed, and I had like this big scar from here to here. And it was really hard for me to have sex with someone and to share my body because I just felt so vulnerable to have this scar. And I had to say that. I had to say, I'm afraid, I'm uncomfortable, and be okay with being that vulnerable. Because I also felt like my body betrayed me. And I had to come to peace with my body, and I had to be able to communicate that with a partner. And it took me a while to get to that place. And it was a process to get to that place. And also if you're a survivor, that's a process to get to that place where you feel comfortable. Or you grew up with a lot of shame around sex. It's a process. As soon as you find yourself saying, I should have, or I should be, stop, take a breath, and that's not the truth. Should is not true. Would is not true. Could is not true. What is, and that's the truth. Just what is in this moment is the truth. Because all we have is this moment. Like, this is it. This is it. And I think we've just been taught to go through life pretending that it's not okay, or pretending that we're not afraid. The magic is when you let it go and just be who you are. And who you are is fucking amazing. And if you think that you're anything than that, stop lying to yourself. You are fucking amazing and magical and a miracle. And there's nobody else on the planet like you. And I feel blessed to be in this room with you. And I think that's all there is to say. I love you. I love you. I love you. Go have amazing lives, okay? So I am available for children's parties. And you know me as doggy shirts. So if you have any questions, oh wait a minute, pull out your phones. Because I want you to be my Instagram, follow me on Instagram. I'm going to do a whole thing on Instagram. Okay, you ready? All right.
Sorry, okay, yeah, sorry.
All right, is everyone ready? It's Momo, M-O-M-O, Momo, the number 2, Momo 2, the ho-ho. Momo to the ho-ho.
Is ho with an E or just the ho?
Oh yeah, no, ho. H-O-H-O, ho-ho. Like I'm a hoe, like my dog's a hoe. And ho-ho like Santa Claus. Like ho-ho-ho-ho! So you can follow me, and I'll be doing a series called Cancer, Condoms, and Cunts, oh my, on Instagram, and I'll be doing live feeds. And just tell your friends, and if you have any questions, you can direct message me on Instagram, okay? My daughter's gonna have to show me how to do it, because I don't know how to do it yet. But I will get back to you. Okay, all right, so I think we are done. We are done. If you want to take a picture with me, if you want to say anything to me, I'm here after the show, okay? So good night, and I love you.